am excited to announce my new 12-week group coaching program called Finish Strong. It's going to be awesome, y'all. It goes through the end of the year. We're going to meet every week, and I will help you overcome your mind drama that you're dealing with and finish 2022 like a rock star. If you are ready to make lasting changes and overcome limiting beliefs that do not serve you and achieve the results you want in your life, I know this is possible. I have experienced this in my own life, and I see it every day in the lives of my clients, and I don't want you to miss this opportunity. So come join my small group coaching program if you want to have some amazing things accomplished and be on your way to some big goals that you've been putting off or possibly never thought you would achieve. The space is limited. I'm only taking a certain number of people so that I can make sure everyone gets enough attention and love. So if you think you might be interested, go to my website, jenzingmark.com, and sign up and register today. Hey, y'all, and welcome to the podcast. Thanks for joining me today. I am very happy to be with you, and I'm sure you're curious why it's important to be wrong. I have a thought I want you to consider. You can be right, or you can be happy. Think about it. This applies to your relationships, your family, your marriage, your business, and your whole life. Being right about life means that you're right. Things do really stink right now, and there's nothing you can do about it. But if you can accept that you're wrong about that, then you have the power to change your thinking, which will change everything in your life. Okay, consider this for a minute. If you can accept that you could be wrong about your thinking, then you open yourself up to the possibility that things could be different than they are right now, that there is a different way of looking at your situation and your circumstances and everything that has happened to you in your life. And if you're willing to open your mind and see things a little differently than you always have, then you are also open to change everything about your life. If you think you're hopeless and you're too far gone and that you can't make changes that you need or want in your life to be different or to be a better version of yourself, that it's not possible, then you're right. You're absolutely right. It is not possible for you. Because whatever you believe is possible is exactly what is possible for you. So the next time you think or say, I can't do that, I am hopeless, I will never change, that is as good as it gets for me. This is the life I've been given. Then that is the truth. But if you're willing to be brave and courageous and believe that you can change, that your life can change, you can have everything you want in your life, then you are right. You really can. The hardest part is admitting that you're wrong. Think about it. Do you want to be right and stuck exactly where you are? Or do you want to be wrong about everything and open to more happiness, more peace, more joy in your life? I want you to consider this. The beliefs that you have about yourself and about your life have gotten you exactly where you are right now. Okay? And if you're not 100% thrilled and happy with exactly where you are right now, maybe you're wrong about your life and yourself. Maybe your thinking is wrong. Okay? I want to illustrate this for you with an example. Do you play board games or card games with your family? Well, our family loves to play games, board games, card games. We love physical games like pickleball and spike ball. And we're also pretty competitive. So you can imagine that many family game nights and sports activities with the family have turned into family fight nights. Actually, I think we have even scarred our older kids. But thankfully, we have a good balance of peacemakers and stubborn competitors in our family. I won't say who is who. I'll just leave that up to individual interpretation. But the point is, every time our family fun night would break down into a competitive or heated discussion about the rules and exactly how the game is supposed to be played, it would stem from one person insisting that they are right and that someone else, or possibly everyone else, is wrong. Okay, I'm sure you can all relate to this situation, but I want to talk to you about being right. When we decide that we're right about something, we choose to close our eyes and our ears to other possibilities. We're unwilling to open our mind or our heart to hear another opinion or another suggestion. We close our mind and our heart to the possibility of a different result or a different outcome. Open yourself up to how you could be wrong and how could this help you grow. Okay, I want to share a coaching concept that I use with my clients. It's called emotional childhood. It's expected that children will be dependent upon their parents and their family and caregivers to take care of them physically and emotionally when they're young, when we're born, all through childhood. And children depend on others to make them feel good or to make them feel better. When your child has a skin knee, they want mama to kiss their boo-boo because they need you to give them that emotional support to make them feel better. They don't understand how to regulate that for themselves. And that's normal and natural behavior for children, but not for adults. When we are adults, it is our own responsibility to take care of our emotional well-being. You are in charge of your own thoughts and your own emotions. And you may not realize it, but you get to choose them. Basically, that means that if you are an adult now, you are responsible for your own emotional health. It's no longer up to the people around you. It's not up to your spouse or your family or your coworkers or your roommates or your friends to make you feel good or better when you're unhappy in your life. It is not their responsibility to make you feel anything at all. It is entirely up to you. And this is called emotional adulthood. Now, we don't always want to accept that responsibility, but it's actually good news because we have control over it. We don't necessarily understand that or accept that when we become adults. We don't always know how to choose and direct our own happiness or how to have a different attitude when we're unhappy in a situation or when other people don't act the way we would like them to, or they don't change when we ask them to, or they don't do what we believe they should do. Okay. And if you don't like hearing this, I want to tell you that it's actually good news. It's great news because if another person was responsible for making you feel bad, then it would take another person changing their behavior to make you feel better. And we can't control other people, right? So what I'm actually telling you is this is great news because you can change your own thoughts and your own emotions. The truth is, you can't control other people, no matter how much you would like to or think that you would like to control other people or influence them. In the end, we all get to choose what we want to think, feel, and believe in our lives. And other people get to do the same things. They get to do whatever they want. So when you keep the ownership, you also keep the credit for owning the responsibility of being in charge of your own emotions. So then you're the one that can make yourself feel better or different anytime you want to. Now, I understand that you're not always going to want to feel better. We actually don't want to feel good all the time. I really don't think we're meant to. I believe that we're all meant to have a human experience. And that means 50% of the time, it's going to be negative emotions and negative feelings and negative interactions. And the other 50% of the time, it should be positive emotions and experiences and feelings. That's just the human experience. And it's wonderful, but that's the way it's supposed to be. I think sometimes we have this false idea that we should feel good or happy all of the time. And it sets us up for failure or disappointment when it doesn't happen that way. But the reality is that's not life. That's not the human experience. And it's not supposed to be happy or positive all of the time. When you remember that and someone is bothering you or letting you down or they're not acting the way you feel like they should and you're feeling negative emotion, one thing that you can remind yourself is it's part of the human experience. You're supposed to feel negative emotion and have negative experiences. You need to remember to keep the ownership and the control over your emotions. So that's way you have the ability to change them whenever you choose to. And friends, that's called emotional adulthood, and it's a wonderful place to live. So I want to remind you what I started with today. You can be right or you can be happy. Think about it. If you can accept the idea that you're wrong about situations and people and the beliefs and thoughts that you have in your life, then you open yourself up to the possibility that things could be a whole lot different than they are now. Actually, a lot better. Consider this. There is a different way of looking at your situation and your circumstances and everything that has happened to you in your life. And if you're willing to be open-minded and see things a little differently than you always have, then you're also open to changing everything about your life and experiencing more peace, more love, more grace, more harmony in your relationships. It's a beautiful way to live. Okay. I want to give you an example so we can apply this in a real situation. So let's imagine that you have a daughter-in-law that doesn't come to family activities, and you believe that she doesn't like your family. She doesn't love and appreciate and respect you and your family. And you also believe that she doesn't want to be a part of your family. And you have a lot of anger and frustration about this. Okay. I want you to ask yourself, how could I be wrong about this? Okay. You have to go ahead and concede that you're not right about everything and that it could be better for you and everyone in your family and in your life if you were wrong about it, if you were thinking thoughts that didn't serve you. Okay. If you've heard me say this in the past, I want to remind you, our thoughts are like clothing. And I want you to think of trying on thoughts like trying on clothing. Sometimes our thoughts are so, we've thought them for so long and we've practiced the thought patterns that we have for so long, we don't slow it down enough to recognize there is actually a choice taking place. When a situation occurs, we have a choice about how we want to think about it and then feel about it and then act on that situation. I love the work of Byron Katie, and one of the tools that she uses is called flipping your thoughts. So let's take this thought in the example that I've shared with you about the daughter-in-law, and let's flip it. Let's imagine the opposite. What if the opposite is true? Okay, I think this is a really powerful way to examine our thoughts and really open your mind to all of the options that are available to you. If you can go all the way to the extreme opposite and consider that that might be true as well. All right, so when you flip this thought to the opposite, instead of my daughter-in-law doesn't respect me, let's say, how do I not respect my daughter-in-law? Okay, I want you to examine that. Let's think about that. If I really respected her feelings about family activities, I might think that she should come to family activities, but maybe I could also give her permission not to come if she doesn't want to. If I believe she's disrespecting our family by believing that she should attend every family function, then I'm not respecting her by allowing her to behave and feel however she wants. Do you see how that could be true also? Ask yourself, how do I want to feel about my daughter-in-law or whatever person in your life you're struggling to deal with? How would you like to show up in that relationship? How do you want to feel about that person? And then choose the thoughts that create the feelings that you want to have. Try them on, okay? And choose different ones and see how it feels. Ask yourself, what if I'm wrong about this person? And try on the opposite thoughts, okay? In the situation that I've given you with the daughter-in-law, how does she respect our family? How might that be true? Well, if she doesn't want to come and attend a family function, then it's actually very respectful for her not to come, right? Rather than showing up and being miserable and unhappy and grumpy, she might actually be showing up with the ultimate authenticity by not coming to family functions. Do you see? Do you see how that feels different? If you believe she's not loving and accepting your family, ask yourself, how am I not loving and accepting my family? Is there some truth in that? How could that possibly be true? Maybe you're not loving and accepting your family because if you did, you could just love and accept your daughter-in-law, whether she came to family functions or not. It would be okay with you if she didn't come. You wouldn't add all this extra meaning to her not coming, like she doesn't love us, she doesn't appreciate us, she doesn't respect us. See how those are just thoughts that you're wearing that aren't serving, right? The truth is, we're all good enough. We're all amazing. We're all wonderful, valuable individuals just because we're alive and on the earth and created by God, regardless of how we show up. We all fall short at times and show up as really cruddy versions of ourselves, not the people we want to be, right? So if I truly respected our family, would I need my daughter-in-law to be there if she didn't want to be? Just think about it, okay? Can you see how in this example, flipping the thought, trying the opposite, opens your mind to the possibilities that you're wrong? Okay. This work can be really challenging, and this is where having a coach comes in. This is the work that I do with my clients, and it's really powerful when we dive deeply into your specific situations that you're dealing with in your own life. Sometimes it's not easy to flip them, your thoughts, and see things differently when you have emotions tied to it. So That's what I get to do with my clients is, be that objective third party outsider, just pointing out that the thoughts that you're choosing aren't serving you. Um, it's really powerful when you start to recognize that it really is your thinking driving all of your feelings. They're always connected. Okay. And it can be easy to choose thoughts that feel good when other people behave and act like we want them to. But it can be challenging when people that we care about or people that are involved in our lives, our coworkers or our roommates, do things that don't make us happy, that are disappointing, that aren't kind. That's when you really have to dive deeply into this work and remember it's your responsibility to manage your own emotions. Okay. Other people get to do whatever they want, but you get to decide how you want to feel about it. Remember, all the things that you're right about have created all the results that you already have in your life. So you have to be willing to be wrong about your current thoughts and beliefs before you can change them. If you can accept that you could be wrong about things in your life, then you open yourself up to the beautiful possibility that things could be different for you than they are right now. That there is a different way of looking at your situation and your circumstances and everything that has happened to you in your life. And if you are willing to open your mind and see things differently than you always have, then you are open to change everything about your life. Okay, so today's takeaways. I want you to take a look at your life. Where are you stuck? What situations or people in your life bother you or keep you up at night? Do you spend time wishing were different? If so, I want to challenge you to consider that maybe you are wrong about them. Your thinking is wrong. And it's very important to be wrong because if you accept that and you accept that you're willing to be wrong, then you can change. You can open up all these possibilities in your life for having different feelings towards the people that you care about or those difficult people in your life or any situation that you're struggling with. And I promise, if you're willing to be brave and courageous and believe that you can change, that your life can change, and that you can have everything you want in your life, then you are right. You can. The hardest part is admitting that you're wrong, but I know you can do it. This is what I do as a life coach is I teach you the tools that I have to use every day to overcome the struggles that you're having in your life, to deal with difficult circumstances or people, and to really grow yourself, to control your thoughts and emotions and drive the feelings and the actions that you want in your life to get different results in your life. So I would love to get your thoughts and your feedback about this message today and how it's landing with you. So if you haven't joined my Facebook group, Joy in Your Journey with Jen, go join, hop in there. It's a great community with support. And I would love for you to comment in the group about this podcast message and how it's landing for you and how you're applying it in your life. Let me know if it resonates with you and how it's working for you. And if you need help with anything in your life, I'd love to help you. So go to my website and make an appointment to meet with me and let's talk about what's causing you problems in your life because I promise you're wrong about them. And if you can accept that and accept the possibility that there are different ways to look at it, you can have a whole different experience in your life. And I'd love to share with you how. Thanks for listening, y'all. Have a great week. Bye.